Girls Prep, how do we celebrate Black History Month?
The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. When the day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade?
The lost we carry, the sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast, and we learned that quiet isn't always peace.
And the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice.
And yet the dawn is ours. Before we knew it, somehow we do it.
Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken but simply unfinished.
We, the successors of a country in a time where a skinny Black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one.
And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect.
We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man.
And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside.
We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another.
We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped.
That even as we tired, we tried again. That we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we'll never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division.
Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid.
If we're to live up our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all bridges we've made.
That is the promised glade, the hill we climb if only we dare.
It's because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's a path we step into and how we repair it.
We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share. It would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy.
And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated.
In this truth, in this faith we trust, for we have our eyes on the future. History has its eyes on us.
This is the era of just redemption. We feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour.
But within it, we found the power to offer a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves.
So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us?
We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free.
We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation.
Our blunders become their burdens, but one thing is certain: if we merge mercy with might and might with right.
And love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright.
Leave behind a country better than the one we were left with. Every breath from my pound cast, we will raid this wonder world is our wonder.
We're wise from gold-lived hills of the west. We were wise from the wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revelation. We were wise from the lake-rimmed of the Eastern states. Rise from the sun-baked south, we will rebuild and recon and recover in every known nook of our native and every corner called our country.
Diverse and beautiful will emerge, battery and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, a film and unafraid.
Dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light. If only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Only if we're brave enough to be it. I'm not sure. Only if we're brave enough to be it.
How do we celebrate Black History Month?
We celebrate Black History Month every month.
We celebrate Black History Month every month.
At Girls Prep, we celebrate Black History Month every month.
At Girls Prep, we celebrate Black History Month every month.
But really, we celebrate Black History Month every month.